knee below freezing. 8 to 6 o'clock, I'm Rob Marciano. World News Tonight is next.
On World News Tonight, the CIA believes Osama bin Laden has escaped from Afghanistan and has gone beyond Pakistan. The Enron executives were telling each other that trouble was coming. What did they tell employees? We'll take a closer look tonight at the movement for a national identity card. Would it make a difference in the campaign against terrorism? The president looks a little different today.
Mother, I should have listened to you. Always chew your pretzels before you swallow.
And the woman who created a sanctuary for retired circus elephants.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening, everyone. This is the 100th day of the U.S. campaign in Afghanistan. And ABC News has learned today that the CIA believes Osama bin Laden got away. U.S. intelligence thinks he may have left the region altogether, possibly by sea. Destination unknown. So that's where we begin tonight with ABC's Brian Ross.
That's right, Peter. An intelligence analysis sent to the CIA director last week reluctantly concluded that Osama bin Laden has escaped from Afghanistan and most likely has fled the region altogether. CIA analysts tracking bin Laden have concluded he escaped from Tora Bora in eastern Afghanistan around the first week of December. Intelligence officials also tell ABC News that one captured al-Qaeda fighter claims to have witnessed in one of the Tora Bora cave hiding places bin Laden turning over operational control of al-Qaeda to one of his deputies before leaving for Pakistan.
I think that most intelligence analysts are absolutely convinced at this point that bin Laden has slipped the noose and has left Afghanistan and Pakistan.
To fool the U.S., the CIA believes bin Laden left behind a tape-recorded message which was transmitted only after he was long gone. The new CIA report concludes bin Laden was briefly in Pakistan, but that all intelligence on him there has dried up. The judgment of the CIA analyst now is that he is most likely fled by sea.
Well, it's not good news that bin Laden and apparently his principal deputy, Ayman Zawahiri, have been able to escape U.S. control, because they can, after a while, reconstitute the al-Qaeda network from one of those safe havens, either in Southeast Asia or on the east coast of Africa.
American intelligence authorities say while al-Qaeda has been disrupted and a few leaders have been captured and killed, bin Laden himself, Peter, remains one step ahead of the U.S., and the central nerve system of his terror network still very much intact.
Many thanks. Brian Ross. A short while ago, we talked to the Secretary of State, Colin Powell, and we asked him about these reports that Osama bin Laden has escaped the region.
Well, I don't know where Osama bin Laden is. You can believe, sure, though, that we are in hot pursuit and do everything we can to find not only where he is, but where all of the members of al-Qaeda in Afghanistan are or might have gone. And our campaign against terrorism goes far beyond Afghanistan.
My question to you is, do you believe he is now out of this immediate region?
I can't say that he is out of that immediate region. I have seen nothing that suggests we know where he is, whether it's in Afghanistan, Pakistan, or somewhere else.
Where's the next front in the war against terrorism? Is it Somalia? Is it Yemen? Is it the Philippines?
Rather than look for a specific country to go after, we're going after terrorism. Well, we're going to go after terrorism wherever it is located. And, of course, the countries you touched on, in many of those instances, for example, Indonesia and the Philippines, they are concerned about their own homegrown terrorists, and we're going to work with them to try to deal with that threat. In the case of the Philippines, United States military trainers will be helping the Philippine government and the Philippine armed forces to deal with the terrorist threat they have that affects their interests as well as ours.
Have a good trip, Mr. Secretary. Thank you. Secretary's off to India and Pakistan. The overseas briefing tonight begins in Yemen with the threat of terrorism. We have learned today that the U.S. Embassy in Yemen is on high alert. The U.S. learned of a plan to blow up the embassy in Sana'a using a series of vehicles filled with explosives. In Pakistan today, the government said it's arrested more than 1,000 Pakistanis suspected of belonging to paramilitary groups. President Musharraf has declared that Pakistan will not support terrorism against India, though the campaign against Indian forces in Kashmir is bound to continue. The two countries have now moved hundreds of thousands of troops to their mutual border. And the bodies of 6 Marines killed when their plane crashed in Pakistan have been returned to Dover Air Force Base in Delaware. The search continues for a 7th body in very difficult terrain. Now to the other news today. In the investigation of the collapse of the giant Enron energy trading company, congressional investigators have uncovered an Enron document which reveals that top executives knew trouble was coming well before the fall. Many of the company workers, of course, did not and lost their life savings. ABC's Linda Douglas joins us from Washington tonight. Linda?
Peter, the congressional investigators say the top officials of Enron may have deliberately hidden the fact that the company was in deep financial trouble. 2 months before Enron's problems were known to the public, an Enron employee warned CEO Ken Lay that the company was in huge trouble, about to implode in a wave of accounting scandals. The employee had discovered that Enron was hiding its debts in partnerships wrapped in a veil of secrecy. She pointed out that those partnership deals had inflated the value of the stock. Enron officials sold that stock at its height, like robbing a bank, said the employee. Congressional investigators suspect some Enron officials may have sold the stock because they knew its value was about to drop.
The top management which engaged in this sale of securities, if they had any knowledge at all, have violated the law against insider trading.
Investigators say Enron asked its law firm to conduct a limited review of the employee's claims. Enron told the lawyers not to do a detailed analysis. The law firm did not call for an independent investigation. On October 16th, Enron was forced to admit it had lost $618 million. By then, Enron's accountant, Arthur Anderson, had begun shredding copies of emails relating to the Enron audit. Accounting professionals say that was a mistake and may even have been illegal. Tonight, the Arthur Anderson Accounting Company said its policy does allow for the destruction of emails when the company's through using the emails, but not when the company is about to be sued. And in the Enron case, Peter, it was clear that lawsuits were coming.
Thanks very much, Linda. Linda Douglas covers Capitol Hill, of course. She knows that Enron had one of the country's largest lobbying staffs for a corporation. Lobbying is, of course, intended to win results from the government. So here's a report on Enron and lobbying from ABC's Jackie Judd.
Enron says one Capitol Hill observer spent money like drunken sailors. $2 million on lobbying in the year 2000. $2.4 million on campaign contributions in the last election, ranking it among the top 50 corporate givers. Over the years, the Texas congressional delegation has been especially well taken care of, ranging from conservative Senate Republican Phil Gramm to liberal House Democrat Sheila Jackson Lee.
Money does not really know ideology. Ultimately, they are interested in the access and the power regardless of what political party you're from.
Enron undoubtedly had the access to Bush White House strategy meetings on energy policy, to overseas trips with the Clinton administration to sell American energy technology, to meetings with key regulators and legislators. In 2000, Enron was part of a huge industry effort to keep the government from regulating trades called derivatives. An Enron lobbyist reportedly helped write part of the legislation. An Enron congressional supporter helped bring the bill back to life after it seemed to be dead. Michael Greenberger is a former government regulator.
This was as full-court, hard-pressed lobbying as I have seen in my almost quarter-century history in dealing with government matters.
Enron was the new kid on the block, just 11 years old, but it clearly had learned the ways of Washington very quickly. Jackie Judd, ABC News, Washington.
Now, in the national briefing tonight, the Department of Energy says that gas prices across the U.S. have edged up 4 cents in the last 3 weeks. The average price of regular unleaded is now $1.11 a gallon. The National Basketball Association has fined 3 players more than $30,000 following a fight between the Chicago Bulls and the Los Angeles Lakers. Shaquille O'Neal alone was fined $15,000. All 3 were suspended. The FBI got one of its 10 most wanted men today. Christian Longo, charged with killing his wife and children in Oregon, was captured in Mexico and taken to Houston. We have one other story about a wanted man tonight, and for it we have to go back overseas. In the Middle East today, a violent end to a violent life. A remote-controlled bomb killed Raed Karami. He first came across this man a short time ago, and ABC's Gillian Findlay in Jerusalem has the rest of the story.
When ABC News first met Raed Karmi in August, he was #1 on Israel's most wanted list, and he knew it. He told us he had killed 2 Israeli civilians. He was moving from house to house, and he surrounded himself with bodyguards. I know they are trying to kill me, he said. 1 month later, Israeli helicopters fired missiles into a car Karmi was traveling in. 2 of his militiamen were killed. Karmi survived and attended their funerals. Today, it was his funeral. Israeli officials won't admit planting the bomb that killed Karmi. It was hidden in a cemetery wall.
I think that this accident which happened to him is a nice end to his career.
As they buried Raed Karmi today, members of his Al-Aqsa Brigade announced they would no longer abide by Mr. Arafat's ceasefire agreement. 3 hours later, 2 Israeli soldiers were shot, 1 killed, not far from where Raed Karmi died. Gillian Findlay, ABC News, Jerusalem.
When we come back, President Bush is on the road today talking about trade, and he laughs off his encounter with the pretzel. We'll take a closer look tonight at the National Identity Card, which is about security and privacy. And at the end of the broadcast, we'll meet a woman who has dedicated her life to the elephants in Tennessee.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Brought to you by Office Depot.
Who wears white after Labor Day? Who wears white after Labor Day? Well, that was once considered a fashion faux pas. Now you can wear white any time of the year.
Want expert advice whenever you need it? Come to Office Depot, where our people listen, understand, and help.
How can I get organized?
With the new generation of handhelds, you can manage multiple... It'd be nice if everything was like that. Office Depot. What you need to know.
Why do I eat Healthy Choice Beef Tips Portobello?
Why? Because it has lean, tender chunks of beef and a delicious mushroom sauce with crisp vegetables.
Real food just for me.
Why? Because my body needs balanced nutrition from meals that are 97% fat-free and low in cholesterol, with vitamins A and C and iron.
Why do I eat Healthy Choice?
It helps me do the things I like to do. That's why.
Healthy Choice. Feel good food.
Grass, check.
Perspiration.
Check.
The Maytag Neptune with Stain Brain makes removing stains all but foolproof.
Thanks.
Well, at least the new kid's keeping busy. Maytag Neptune, perfecting the art of stain removal.
Thinking about Viagra? It's now available in a free 6-pill sample pack.
6? That's my number.
So get in the driver's seat and ask about the free Viagra sample pack.
Get to your doctor for a checkup and find out if a free sample of Viagra is right for you.
For more information, race over to Viagra.com.
President Bush went to Illinois today, where he campaigned for expanded powers to make international trade deals. Mr. Bush said that more trade will help to invigorate the economy. When the president left Washington, we could clearly see the mark on his face. The White House says he got it last night after he fainted and fell when a pretzel he was eating went down the wrong way. Our medical editor, Tim Johnson, joins us to talk a little bit about this subject. Tim, they've all been fairly flip about this today. I wonder if it's more serious than they're telling us.
Well, we cannot know for sure, and I suppose the politically correct response is to make light of it. But I think the medically correct response, because we are talking about the leader of the free world, is to at least do some testing to make sure there's not a more serious underlying cause.
Are we clear precisely what happened to him physically?
We can never know for sure what happened because he wasn't being monitored at the time. Presumably, he had what we call a vasovagal reflex, meaning that something, in his case, a coughing from his bout with the pretzel triggers the nervous system to drop the heart rate and the blood pressure. That leads to less blood flow to the brain, and that causes fainting. We think that's what happened, but we can't really know for sure.
But in 5 seconds, you're saying more testing should be done to look for causes?
If I were the doctor in charge, I would want to do a 24-hour heart monitoring test and maybe a so-called tilt test to rule out other possible causes.
Well, you're a good doctor. Thanks, Tim. Our medical editor, Tim Johnson. When we come back this evening, the push for a national identification card. Would the added security put your privacy in danger? And what happens to elephants when they retire? One woman's vision of a sanctuary.
I like going to see my grandpa. We do lots of stuff. Sometimes we just hang out. One day, we were sitting there, and I said, Grandpa, don't you work?
No Load Mutual Funds from T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence.
What's for lunch?
Chicken and stars.
Condensed soup? We're not feeding the kids anymore. There's a better tasting soup. Progresso Chicken Noodle has all white meat chicken and bigger vegetables. See the difference?
Much better.
It's time to go to the better taste of Progresso.
For itchy patches of dry winter skin, moisturizers can't always cut it. Try Cortisone 10 Plus. Among these, only Cortisone 10 Plus has 10 moisturizers, plus the power of Cortisone 10 to stop itch and help heal. Try Cortisone 10 Plus.
The man is a legend. He is skill, grace, finesse. And at these Olympic Winter Games, one thing that shouldn't hold him back is the pain, inflammation, and stiffness of osteoarthritis. With just one Celebrex, he gets powerful 24-hour relief from these 3 symptoms. Because he didn't come here to disappoint this crowd. Celebrex should not be taken if you've had aspirin-sensitive asthma or allergic reactions to aspirin or other arthritis medicines or certain drugs called sulfonamides. In rare cases, serious stomach problems such as bleeding can occur without warning. Tell your doctor if you have kidney or liver problems.
I've never seen ice sets.
Ask your doctor about Celebrex, official supporter of the 2002 U.S. Olympic team.
Mike, let's take a look at those reports next Thursday. And Tom, Susan, set up a meeting on Monday. Any other thoughts?
You know, sir, instead of saving money by having only one office pen, we could just go to Staples.
Yeah, with Staples 365 Savings, they compare prices and back it up with a 110% price match guarantee.
That's sharp thinking.
Hey, client's here. We, need the pen.
Low prices on every item, every day. Staples 365 Savings. Yeah, we've got that.
Maalox Max challenges Mylanta Supreme. Who neutralizes more acid? Maalox Max. Relieves pressure and bloating. Maalox Max. Comes in more great flavors. Maalox Max. 3 ways the right choice is Maalox Max. Agree or it's free.
Tomorrow, imagine being jailed for 7 days for not returning the video you rented. It happened to one woman, and now she speaks out, only to Good Morning America tomorrow.
We're going to take a closer look tonight at the debate about a national identification card. In Washington today, the association which represents the state's motor vehicle officials called on the Congress to spend up to $100 million on a national ID system. The American Civil Liberties Union immediately said that was a bad idea. Well, the September attacks have certainly added some urgency to the debate. It is about security, and it is about privacy.
Okay, I'll need IDs, please. Okay.
Picture ID, please, sir.
It is standard operating procedure now at airports.
Have your ID for me, please, sir?
And virtually every government installation.
Just going to get visitor's pass, sir?
But it is an illusion of security. Brian Jenkins is a security specialist.
It's a chaotic system that, in fact, we carry many forms of identity cards. The problem is we have 50 different states with 50 different sets of procedures.
Some hijackers who crashed American Flight 77 into the Pentagon had Virginia identification cards, even though they didn't live in Virginia, which is why there is a lobby for a national identification card. It would be linked to computers, which would be linked to computers in every government agency that knows something about you.
A card will say who you are, and it can be connected with other databases to also indicate whether or not you are a fugitive.
Scott McNeely is the CEO at Sun Microsystems.
It will tell the security forces at the airport and the airline that I really am me. And they will keep a database of the fact that I was there.
Mr. McNeely says that existing smart card technology is the answer, a card with an information-rich computer chip in it. And for extra measure, a biometric device at the airport, say, which can read the card and verify that it's you by checking your fingerprint or scanning your eye.
If I had a choice between getting on an airline who required an authentication card and then match that with a government watch list, and then I had a choice of flying on another airline who didn't know who you were, which airplane would you like to get on?
But there are some other issues with this technology. The Electronic Privacy Center in Washington worries about government as big brother.
You can imagine very simply, if you go to the airport to check in, does the security at the airport terminal get access to your INS files, your FBI files, your employment records, your medical information, your financial information, your children's names and addresses? Where would the line be drawn?
Good question, and we put it to Brian Jenkins.
The issuance of national identity cards by itself does not shred the Constitution. Our credit cards, for example, contain a great deal of information and have access to databases that contain more information about us probably than anything in the government.
Clearly, if this idea ever gets off the ground, the government will have to decide how much is too much. ABCNews.com has been asking readers what they think about a national identity card. They have received more than 1,000 responses so far. It's very interesting. You can join the discussion simply by logging in to ABCNews.com. When we come back this evening, a strange sound from the hills of Tennessee. Yes, it's a place for elephants to retire from show business.
Did you know Bengay increases blood flow at the site of application? It's scientifically proven to decrease minor arthritis pain, improve flexibility, and increase range of motion. And Ultra Strength Bengay has 3 pain relievers, more than any leading brand. Ultra Strength Bengay.
It responds to the power of your voice. It lets you focus on the road ahead.
OnStar Personal Calling.
Call Commissioner Gordon. With the safety of hands-free dialing, you can concentrate on more important things, like driving.
Gordon here.
I'm on my way. You could win a walk-on part in the next Batman movie or an OnStar-equipped vehicle. Go to OnStar.com.
I like to come here early in the morning, before the rest of the world puts their 2 cents in.
When you have pain and sleeplessness, but worry about taking something, reach for Tylenol PM. Its non-habit forming stops your pain and helps you sleep, so you can wake up refreshed.
If I don't have a good morning, I don't hold out much hope for the rest of the day.
Take comfort. It's Tylenol PM.
I'll never watch TV instead of doing homework or hide laundry under my bed. I'll be the best dog if you give me what I need.
You've got one chance to raise a healthy puppy. Introducing new Purina One brand large breed puppy formula. Purina has created the first and only puppy foods with a nutrient proven to help reduce the percentage of body fat during growth. So large breed puppies grow lean and healthy. And research shows these puppies need less fat and more love. Purina One, second to none.
I've always liked natural things. That's why I use Beano. Only Beano helps prevent gas from problem foods with a natural food enzyme. It's not a drug. So if you prefer natural ingredients like I do, prevent gas with Beano.
At Bank of America, we really wanted to participate in the Olympic Winter Games. But in the end, we decided to support the real athletes and stick to the things we do best. Like improving your performance by turning your checking account into an investment tool.
I'm Paul Lindman. Coming up next on K2 News, team coverage on the arrest of Christian Longo, including reaction from Mary Jane Longo's family in Michigan and the FBI tip that led to his arrest. Also, 4 teenagers from Lebanon killed by a suspected drunk driver in a deadly accident on the coast. And a Kelso man goes on a rampage at a church, shooting 3 people. Next on K2.
Tomorrow, do the executives at your company have the power to cash in your future? And who's making sure they don't? How safe is your money? Watch World News Tonight.
Just a brief review of our top story. We began tonight by reporting that the CIA believes Osama bin Laden has now fled not only Afghanistan, but probably the entire region. Officials say it is possible that he escaped by sea. Finally this evening, aging gracefully. ABC's Michelle Norris reports from the hills of Tennessee on a woman and her elephants.
You did so good. Carol Buckley says she is trying to change the way elephants are treated in captivity.
Hey, hi, sis.
In 1995, she founded this sanctuary where aging and sick elephants retire.
We really are providing elephants with what nature would have given them if they were living in the wild. This stretch of land outside of Nashville provides the right environment for these Asian elephants. Lots of humidity, the right vegetation, and the right temperature.
Presenting Tara.
Buckley was once a circus performer herself who used the standard training methods, dominating elephants with pokers and whips. But over time, she realized that her elephants responded best to what she calls passive control, using praise and food as incentives. Her goal now is to teach other trainers that animals have psychological as well as physical needs.
I notice her reaching out to touch you. Is that natural? Natural. They're very affectionate. They're very tactile. But once you start to live with these creatures, you quickly learn that they have a very rich emotional life. And it's very hard to not be aware of that.
2 years ago, an elephant named Jenny grew unusually excited when a new animal arrived.
Jenny was just touching her and pulling at her and poking at her.
Eventually, Shirley returned the affection.
And then you could tell what it was is that they knew each other.
It turned out that Jenny and Shirley had performed together 23 years ago. They are now inseparable, both crippled from years of overwork and abuse.
The point is that for humans to recognize that we are not the only living creature that feels pain.
Elephants living in the wild live an average of 60 years. Those in captivity live only half that long. Carol Buckley is hoping to change that equation. Michelle Norris, ABC News, Hohenwald, Tennessee.
And that is our report on World News Tonight. This week on the broadcast, after Afghanistan, the next countries where the U.S. may focus its campaign against terrorism. The first test for the earliest stages of Alzheimer's disease, and how the Army is using spider webs to make bulletproof vests. I'm Peter Jennings. We hope you have a good evening, and that we'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.
This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
Ben Holmes was on his way to get married until he met someone else by accident. I'm going to miss my wedding. Sandra Bullock and Ben Affleck.
What else can go wrong?
How much for you to dance? Strip dancing? The network television premiere. Forces of Nature, ABC Tonight, 9/8 Central.
Now on K2 News at 6:30. K2 was the first to tell you one of America's most wanted men is now behind bars. Live Team 2 coverage of Christian Longo's arrest, details of the capture, and reaction from Longo's family. Plus, a makeshift memorial at Lebanon High School remembers 4 friends killed by a suspected drunk driver. And details of a major repair on the Broadway Bridge that will mean a longer commute for some.
Connecting you to your world. This is K2 News.
Good evening. Glad you're with us. I'm Steve Dunn. I'm Paul Lindman. Good evening. K2 was the first to break this news. Christian Longo, the man accused of killing his family, has been arrested.
Longo was in a Houston, Texas jail tonight. He arrived in Houston this morning accompanied by FBI agents. He was arrested at a beach town in Mexico last night after authorities there received a tip. He's accused of killing his wife, Mary Jane, and his 3 kids. Their bodies were found in the Newport area last month.
We have team coverage of his arrest. Elaine Murphy has details of his capture and the tip that led authorities to him.